right, Shalom family. Hope y'all doing well today. But Lamawad, could you pray us in?
Come.
All right.
All right, y'all. Let's all bow our heads. Sisters, make sure y'all got your heads covered. Brothers, make sure y'all uncover your heads. Ahaya Ba'ashim Yeshaya, O Wakadash, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Aman. It looks like it's starting to get darker out here a little bit early. I think that time gonna change. I think next month. Well, it'll be October in a couple days. But how you doing today?
I'm smooth. One of these days, man, just, trying to stay on it.
Con. All right, family. Bless you all. We don't have a real lengthy lesson, but some good stuff tonight, right? So, first and foremost, praise the Most High. Those that are on the line, that we're able to meet up again another week. We just coming off of Feast of Tabernacles, and we had a baptized member coming to the family. So, praise the Most High for that. Today, a friend according to the Most High. What is a friend according to the Most High? Right? It seems that we always in the world, everyone has a different definition of what. Salakia. 916 last four numbers. Hold on. Got some people coming in. 5152. If I get your name so I can put you on.
That's me, Mark. That's my other name.
Okay.
Jay.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
Just change that. All right. All right. So, a friend according to the world, sometimes, we might think, oh, you're not a good friend because you're not doing what I need you to do right now, or because someone's not giving you something that you want right now, or this person's not giving me what I want, or I'm not giving them what they need right now or want right now. Measuring friendships, in different ways. Like, you not loyal because you won't just let me just do what I need to do on you all day, getting over on you. Or this person not a good friend. Just how people use each other, all that loyalty, right? You've been knowing someone a long time, so you just expect them to be a certain way, or vice versa. So we just gonna go into the word and bring out what is a friend according to the Most High. How do you know someone is so-called solid toward you and you toward them? What's expected? Because there's a lot of confusion when we lean to our own understanding, right? Instead of thus saith the Lord. That's why our people have a lot of confusion today as far as how to operate, leaning toward our own understanding, So let's get into it. Let's see what's a friend according to the Most High. So we're going to go into Apocrypha in Ecclesiasticus. We're going to start at chapter 6. Bro, if you can bring that out. And let's just start it from the top. So Ecclesiasticus in Apocrypha chapter 6. Let's see what is a friend according to the Most High.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6 and verse 1. Instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that have a double tongue. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart. that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying
So
alone.
that's what we were just bringing forth, right? Lean into your own understanding, and you'll get tore up because you might think that you really operating right towards your brother or sister, your spouse relationship, towards your children, children towards the parents. You might really feel that how you moving is right, but you gotta get in this word because these commandments is a light, right? This law is a light. So you gotta measure it with these scriptures. Finish reading.
Verse 3. Thou shalt not eat up thy leaves, and loose thy fruit, and leave thyself as a dry tree. A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. Sweet language will multiply friends,
Mm-hmm.
and a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greetings.
So sometimes when you're talking good, our people like smooth things, right? Our people like smooth things. So when you even speaking this word, they might not want to hear that. Get that. Get third Isaiah chapter 30. Because our people, if you just talking good, if you saying what they want to hear, they gonna be all in, right? Get 30 and 10 in Isaiah.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things.
Mm-hmm.
Prophesy deceits.
That's what our people like. Man, speak to us about some smooth things. Tell me I could do what I want. Go back to what you had, Ecclesiasticus.
Picking up Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 and verse 6. Be in peace with many, nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000.
Yeah, so you can't be going to everybody just getting some counsel because not everybody is knowing where you coming from. You can't really. It's like you bringing this word. You think you just gonna go to the world and try to reason with someone that's operating on a worldly level versus operating in this word, and you expecting results like someone that's repented and really focused on the Most High. You're not gonna get the same results. So you got to make sure you go to somebody. If you getting counsel, you got to go to someone that's trying to live that righteous walk like you. Or you gonna get bad information. Finish read.
Verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
You gotta prove your friends first. You can't just meet someone today. A lot of people could be on their best behavior when you first meet them. What about when tribulation comes? Finish read.
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
Don't be quick to say this is my partner, right? This is my best friend. Yeah, this is my girl right here. Not saying you don't show love. That's not what we trying to say. It's just you ain't even went through hard times yet. You ain't went through no adversity. Finish read.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
As soon as you going through something, they gone. Oh, I ain't trying to be a part of that. You just gone as soon as something come about. A real friend gonna be solid to you. They gonna hold you accountable when you wrong. And you gotta be a good friend back to listen, to hear, right? Finish reading.
Verse 10. Verse 11. But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be bold over thy servants. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face. Separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friends. A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such an one hath found a treasure.
So a good friend is something to be treasured. And you see it, you fall out with somebody that you know really got love for you and got your back, but they tell you something you didn't want to hear, then give you something you want. And then years later, you back like, yeah, you know, you was right. So you gotta know that those type of friends that really love you gonna tell you the truth and not just what you want to hear. That's a treasure right there. That can't be bought. You know, some people don't have that. That's why they're, you know, they lost, bad decisions, bad counsel. That's why you see a lot of people don't listen to their parents. So you don't listen to your parents, all right, go get it the hard way. You go out there to the world, then you come back, you coming back with baggage, now you come back with all this, and you trying to fix it right, you trying to clean it up. When you should have just stuck to these commandments. You know, it made your life much easier. These commandments is for you. The Most High don't need them. These commandments is for us. So we don't get what did I just see today? Right before we got home, just Dwayne Wade back at it. And there's a lot of women as far as him showing his son dressed up like a little girl, and you got a lot of our people in the world defending it, talking about that's good parenting. Where is his good counsel at? And he got Jezebel right at home. Where is his good counsel at? Where is his good friends that's telling him? And we don't know, maybe some have, but where's his friends telling him you out of pocket? We not moving like that. You wasn't brought up like that. Let's finish reading.
Verse 15. Nothing doth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is the medicine of life.
Mm-hmm.
And they that
you good.
And they that fear the Lord shall find him. Whoso fears the Lord shall direct his friendship aright.
Mm-hmm. That's what you gonna do. Uh-huh.
For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also.
And let's get some examples. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 1. So you want a good friend that you know got your best interest. See, but a lot of people just want to hear what they want to hear. They're not moving off, man, I want to make sure I'm moving right. I want to make sure I'm not slipping. I need a friend that's going to tell me what I need to hear versus what I want to hear. Every time, right? Brother Lamawa, I know. He already know what I'm coming with. He just start laughing when I say, well, what you think, did I do that right? And he just start laughing because he know I'm trying to examine to make sure that moving right about the Most High's business. Because we know with this knowledge that you accountable on another level. So we can't move like everyone else in the world. He'll tear you apart a lot faster once you start getting in this, right? So let's start at let's go Proverbs. Let's start at 1 and verse 7.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 7. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
So if sinners come and they enticing you to get involved in something, don't consent. right? This is the wisdom. This is what Solomon bringing forth. The wisest man at that time, the wisest man in Israel from the tribe of Judah. Finish reading.
Verse 11. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil.
And you see that right there? Isn't that happening all day in the streets? This my real one. This my day one. We going to slide. Going to go shed innocent blood. That's not a real friend that's looking to destroy you. That's not a big homie that's doing something to destroy you, your life, your future. Those not your real friends. Because in a time of trouble, they're going to do it moving. How many of our people that we know that's doing a lot of time in prison, right? And ain't no one there but they mama to answer their call. The same person that was trying to tell them not to move the way they was moving.
Thanks.
And now you calling, you trying to see who's your friend that'll just send you a green dot, just trying to send you some money while you in jail, right? You don't even know who your real friends are. Finish reading.
Verse 14. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood.
Mm-hmm.
Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof.
And some not losing no sleep about it. Some not losing no sleep about it, right? They just like, man, come on, let's go get it. Let's go get it. Let's go do let's go take care of business. Let's up the score. go to Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 23.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 10 and verse 23. It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding have wisdom.
Mm-hmm. It's a sport. It's a sport to them to do that. They're not worried about it. It's a sport for them to do that wickedness. Now let's go to Ecclesiasticus. Let's go back to Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus chapter 11. And that's just with all evil, right? It's a sport for them to do evil. To destroy. You going against everything the Most High giving you to give you a peaceful life. And that peaceful life it might just be it's boring according to the world. Cause you don't got enough drama. You ain't and that's why they keep pushing all that stuff towards a certain demographic, the Israelites, right? Love and hip hop and all that stuff like we always talk about. The music. Let's go to 11 and 26.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 26. For it is an easy thing unto the Most High in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure. And in his end, his deeds shall be discovered. Judge none blessed before his death. For a man shall be known in his children.
And when you looking at your children, no matter how you cut it, right? No matter how you cut it, it's a product of your doing. If you was what you was instilling in them, the time, was you valuing your job more than giving them that wisdom? What was you putting in your children? It's gonna come to fruition. You see You see, is you leading your child to some gangbang? Is you leading your daughter to some harlotry? Is you leading your child into a lifestyle of just laziness? Granted, sometimes you do all you can, and some just won't get it, right? Let's get that. Hold what you got. Let me get that. Let's get Proverbs. Lock you. I believe that's 7. Let's get Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 1.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother.
Mm-hmm. That's what the words say. That's what the words say. Let's go back to what you had in Ecclesiastes. Let's jump it down to
Ecclesiastes.
where was we at? Let's get 29 and then jump it down to 34.
Picking up at verse 29. Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains.
Oh, he know how to get you. You see it all the time. See it all the time. Don't bring everybody in your house. You ain't been knowing them that long. He might got big plans for you. I'll come to destroy your household. Matter of fact, let's read that out.
Read it out?
Yeah.
Verse 30. Like as a partridge taken and kept in a cage, so is the heart of the proud. And like as a spy watches he for thy fall. For he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil. And in things worthy praise will lay blame upon thee. Of a spark of fire, a heap of coals is kindled, and a sinful man layeth wait for blood. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot.
Mm-hmm.
Receive a stranger into thine house, and he will disturb thee, and turn thee out of thine own.
And that's what he do. He'll jack your whole world up. If you dealing with the wrong, if you bringing the wrong ones, you don't got righteous judgment. They call it today backdooring. You see all this people robbing best friends, setting each other up and stuff like that, right? And it's like, man, they was so tight. Nah, he only known him for a year or two. Or, he been knowing him his whole life, and then it just went bad. Oh, he wasn't a real friend. He wasn't a real friend to him according to the Most High. He was a real friend to that person according to the devil's playground. Because they was ready to do some evil together. Running to do some mischief by any means. Uh-huh. You had something?
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time. They say no honor among thieves, right? So he wasn't your friend according to the ways of the righteous walk. Let's finish. Let's get Isaiah 39. Speaking of that, let's go to Isaiah 39 because you gotta prove a friend first. You got to prove a friend first, and then you see people surprised when the backbiting and the crossing of each other and all these things happen. It's like, but it might not be a surprise to you because this person wasn't dealing with Christ. Anything goes with some of them, and even we're not even gonna act like in this walk to a certain extent, because some people not really digging through these scriptures with the fear of the Lord. So, they still might have some growing to do as far as how to treat people, as far as responding to something they don't like to hear, something they don't understand. You gotta always make sure you operating in that spirit with that brotherly and sisterly love. Cause it's easy to just go back to your worldly ways that you was doing before this walk. That's easy. Let's bring that out from the top.
Said 39, Isaiah 39.
Con.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 39, verse 1. At that time, Merodach Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present to Hezekiah. For he had heard that he had been sick and was recovered. And Hezekiah was glad of them and showed them the house of his precious things.
Oh, so he got strangers coming in. He like, man, come on, come check it out. I got it all. Come look at how I'm doing it.
And he showed them the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold and the spices and the precious ointment, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah, and said unto him, What said these men? And from whence came they unto thee? And Hezekiah said, They are come from a far country unto me, even from Babylon. Then said he, What have they seen in thy house? And Hezekiah answered, All that is in mine house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them. Then said Isaiah to Hezekiah, Hear the word of the Lord of hosts. Behold, the days come that all that is in thine house, and that which thy fathers have laid up in store until this day, shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left, saith the Most High. And of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget, shall they take away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Then said Hezekiah to Isaiah, Good is the word of the Lord, which thou hast spoken. He said, Moreover, for there shall be peace and truth in my days.
So all this, because you went and showed these men that you didn't even know all that's in your house. And they going to go back to Babylon and tell the king of Babylon they going to come back and rob this place. You just over here just being green. You just want to go, you just see some people, you just want to stunt. You just want to flex. You just trying to show them all that's in your house. So they going to come back and get you, all this stuff up in here, and going to get your children. Just an example. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 22. Let's go. Ecclesiastes 22. And let's start at verse 22.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 22, verse 22. If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend.
Let's start out at 21. Slacky.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 22 and verse 21. Though thou drewest a sword at thy friend, yet despair not, for there may be a returning to favor. If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, for there may be a reconciliation.
So y'all might get into it. You might get into it, but there might be room to come back. So leave a little room to come back. Finish reading.
Except for upbraiding or pride or disclosing of secrets or a treacherous wound.
So be solid. Make sure if you got some secrets, hold it to yourself. And that's a hard thing with our people, Israel. As soon as someone upsets you, you telling all that dirty laundry, right? All of it. Finish reading.
For these things every friend will depart.
Mm-hmm.
Be faithful. Be faithful to thy neighbor in his prosperity. It's like your poverty. That thou mayest rejoice in his prosperity, and abide steadfast unto him in the time of his trouble, that thou mayest be heir with him in his heritage. For a mean estate is not always to be contemned, nor the rich that is foolish to be had in admiration. Keep going.
Okay.
Verse 24. As the vapor and smoke of a furnace goeth before the fire, so reveling before blood. I will not be ashamed to defend a friend, neither will I hide myself from him. And if any evil happen unto me by him, every one that heareth it will beware of him. Who shall set a watch before my mouth, and a seal of wisdom upon my lips, that I fall not suddenly by them, and that my tongue destroy me not?
So, like it says in 26, and if any evil happen unto me by him, everyone that heareth it will beware of him. So everyone's gonna be paying attention to how you even treating your friends. That'll determine, oh yeah, you might want to just move this way. If that person did that to that person that they've been knowing this long, what you think they gonna do to you? If that person do that to their mother or father, what you think they gonna do to you? If they do that to their children, what you think they gonna do to you? So people are aware of how you treat the people that's closest to you. That say a lot about you too. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 20. More examples. Probably wrapping it up in like about 15 minutes. Most High willing. Go to 1 Samuel chapter 20.
It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 20, verse 1. And David fled from Naioth and Ramah, and came and said before Jonathan, what have I done? What is mine iniquity? And what is my sin before thy father?
Yeah, see, David want to know, man, what's going on with your dad, with King Saul? Why he trying to take my life? Because we know the Most High took the kingdom of Israel from Saul because he didn't slew all of the Amalekites. That same family that's ruling the world today, the grandson of Esau, right? The Amalekites, the same people ruling the earth today. The people that's printing your money, that's over your laws, that's telling you got to go get that vax. The people that's controlling the world. Saul didn't do what he was supposed to do back then. And the Most High said, I'm bringing the kingdom from him and giving it to David. And Saul just couldn't accept that. So now David is going to Jonathan, Saul's son, and he want to know, man, why your dad on me like that? Why is he moving on me trying to kill me? Finish reading.
Verse 2. And he said unto him, God forbid, thou shalt not die. Behold, my father will do nothing, either great or small, but that he will show it me. And why should my father hide this thing from me? It is not so. And David sware moreover, and said, thy father certainly knoweth that I have found grace in thine eyes. And he saith, let not Jonathan know this, as he be grieved. But truly as the Most High liveth, and as thy soul liveth, there is but a step between me and death. Then said Jonathan unto David, whatsoever thy soul desireth, I will even do it for thee. And David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go that I may hide myself in the field unto the third day at even.
Yeah, because David knew I'm not about to go to that big dinner tomorrow. I know your dad trying to get me, and I know it's the perfect moment for him to get me because everybody got to go and meet up. Everyone got to go to the feast day. But look, I'm about to go this way because I'm not going into his trap. Finish reading.
Verse 6. If thy father at all miss me, then say, David earnestly asked to leave of me that he might run to Bethlehem, his city. For there is a yearly sacrifice there for all the family. If he say thus, it is well, thy servant shall have peace. But if he be very wroth, then be sure that evil is determined by him. Therefore thou shalt deal kindly with thy servant, for thou hast brought thy servant into a covenant of the Most High with thee. Notwithstanding, if there be in me iniquity, slay me thyself. For why shouldest thou bring me to thy father? And Jonathan said, Far be it from thee. For if I knew certainly that evil were determined by my father to come upon thee, then would not I tell it thee? Then said David to Jonathan, Who shall tell me? Or what if thy father answer thee roughly? And Jonathan said unto David, Come, and let us go out into the field. And they went out, both of them, into the field. And Jonathan said unto David, O Most High Power of Israel, when I have sounded my father about tomorrow any time, or the third day, and behold, if there be good toward David, and I then send not unto thee, and show it thee, the Most High do so, and much more to Jonathan. But if it please my father to do thee evil, then will I show it thee, and send thee away, that thou mayest go in peace, and that the Most High be with thee, as he hath been with my father.
Let's jump it over to 24.
Verse 24. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat, as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something had been befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, Wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to me, neither yesterday nor today? And Jonathan answered Saul, David earnestly asked leave of me to go to Bethlehem. And he said, Let me go, I pray thee, for our family have a sacrifice in the city. And my brother, he hath commanded me to be there. Now, if I have found favor in thine eyes, let me get away, I pray thee, and see my brethren. Therefore he cometh not unto the king's table. Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan, and he said unto him, Thou son of the perverse, rebellious woman, do not I know, thou son of the perverse, rebellious woman, do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thine own confusion, and unto the confusion of thy mother's nakedness?
So now, Saul is upset, because he know, okay, Jonathan, you my son, but you working, look, you over there working with him. You trying to hide him and protect him. Why are we bringing this out? Because even Jonathan is trying to do what's right. He trying to do what's righteous. And if you're going to be a friend, a true friend, you don't want to lead your friends, family, people to destruction. Even when you know what's right and what's wrong. And it's going to be hard. Why? Because our people like to hear smooth things and something might come with it. But see how he's just remaining solid because he know his friend David ain't do nothing wrong. Finish reading.
Verse 31. For as long as the son of Jesse liveth upon the ground, thou shalt not be established, nor thy kingdom. Wherefore now send and fetch him unto me, for he shall surely die.
Don't you know if we don't handle business, he's going to be the king in Israel and you're not going to sit on the throne? Saul know that it's of the Most High. Samuel had already told him that, look, the kingship is going to David. You're done. And he like, nah, I can go up against the Most High. He thinking he can really just go kill King David and make sure his lineage stays on the throne. Not going to happen, though. Finish read.
Verse 32. And Jonathan answered Saul, his father, and said unto him, Wherefore shall he be slain? What hath he done? And Saul cast a javelin at him to smite him, whereby Jonathan knew that it was determined of his father to slay David. So Jonathan arose from the table in fierce anger, and did eat no meat the second day of the month, for he was grieved for David, because his father had done him shame. And it came to pass in the morning that Jonathan went out into the field at the time appointed with David, and a little lad with him. And he said unto his lad, Run, find out now the arrows which I shoot. And as the lad ran, he shot an arrow beyond him. And when the lad was come to the place of the arrow which Jonathan had shot, Jonathan cried after the lad and said, Is not the arrow beyond thee? And Jonathan cried after the lad, Make speed, haste, stay not. And Jonathan's lad gathered up the arrows and came to his master. But the lad knew not anything, only Jonathan and David knew the matter. And Jonathan gave his artillery unto his lad and said, Go unto him, go, carry them to the city. And as soon as the lad was gone, David arose out of the place toward the south, and fell on his face to the ground, and bowed himself 3 times. And they kissed one another, and wept with one another, until David exceeded. And Jonathan said to David, Go in peace, for as much as we have sworn, both of us, in the name of the Most High, saying, The Most High be between me and thee, and between my seed and thy seed forever. And he arose and departed, and Jonathan went into the city.
Go to 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12. Just for some edification, in case you need a precept, because we got some people that be like, see, they was doing homosexuality. See how him and Jonathan was kissing? No, what will we equivalent that to? Like today, you seeing old mob boss movies and all that, right? Go to 2 Corinthians 13 and 12. This is not what that was. Let's get that precept.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 12. Greet one another with an holy kiss.
Yes, it wasn't no madness like that. Now, let's go to James chapter 2, verse 21. So we showed examples of friendships, right? Now let's see, what's a friend to the Most High? Because we know Abraham was called a friend of God, like the scriptures say. Let's go to James chapter 2 and verse 21.
This is the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 21. Was not Abraham our father justified by works, when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Seest thou how faith wrought in his works? And by works was faith made perfect. And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto God, unto him for righteousness. And he was called the friend of God.
Go to Hebrews chapter 11. So through his faith, putting Isaac on the altar and believing with the Most High, having faith on the Most High, and the Most High coming and removing his sin, and the angel to come remove the lad, and giving the blessings and promises to Abraham that on his seed shall all nations be blessed. And we know all the way through Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Judah, Joseph, through Christ, all nations will be blessed to receive their portion in his kingdom to come. But you got to believe on that seed. You can't be believing on the Edomite seed of that image of Caesar Borgia. You can't be believing on the Ishmaelite seed in Muhammad over there in Islam, or Japheth in Buddha. You gotta be having faith through Christ, right? Bring that out. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 17. Two more scriptures.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 17. By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac. And he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son, of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Mm-hmm. And that's how he received the promises, when he offered up Isaac, and he was called a friend of God, right? Go to John chapter 15. Let's go to John 15. And verse 14.
It's the book of St. John, chapter 15 and verse 14. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you.
Salakia. Let's start at verse 12.
Come to verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth, I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whosoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you.
Mm-hmm. So you was chosen from the foundation of the world, like the scriptures say. He chose you before you even chose him. He already knew who was going to be a part of his kingdom. He already knew who was going to wake up, repent, who was going to receive this truth. This truth is not given because we just so special that we just went and just found this information. He was already tugging at you. He already knew who was his. I know I always do this, but get last precept. Get Isaiah chapter 1 and 3 and get Ephesians chapter 1 verse 4. The Most High already knew who you was before you did. He already knew where you was going to mess up, trip, fall, all these stumbling blocks in the world, bump your head from being hard-headed. He knew he was going to bring you back to the truth in these times, in his last days, while a lot of people in the world is asleep, thinking it's about finance, thinking it's about the vax, thinking it's about they just want to control the people. All these things, entertainment, the get rich schemes, all this stuff, and you know the truth. You already know what's coming. While everyone was thinking you in a cult, now they coming back to what's those answers? I need some answers about what's really going on. The Most High chose you from the foundation of the world. Get those precepts.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know, my people does not consider.
Go Jeremiah 1 and 5. That's the one that I wanted. I gave the wrong one.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 and verse 5. Before I formed thee in thy belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Mm-hmm.
Then said I.
So he already knew. Before the womb, he already knew who you was. He already knows who we are. Just like he was saying to Jeremiah, right? Last scripture. Go to Ephesians 1 and 4.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 4. According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yeshua Christ to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will.
So like it say in verse 4, he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy, without blame before him in love. So before the world began, he already knows who is his, right? So with that, family, being a friend to each other and to your friends out there, how to measure what's a real friend, that's going to lead you to righteousness and not wickedness, that's going to receive some correction and that you're going to receive it back. A friend that's honest with you, that's not leading you to destruction, and being a friend of the Most High. Example of what being a friend of the Most High is, right? Anything, Lamawat?
You hit it on the nose with this one. I mean, I think through all our own personal life experiences, we all can see what a friend that we thought was true was not really true. You know what I mean? So this was a perfect lesson, very edifying.
Khan, praise the Most High, Ahia, and His Son Yeshua, right? So with that, let me stop this real quick. With that, bless you all, and we take some questions if you got them.